People like cats. People like cats.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Hi there, TJ. Shit, it's the boring one. Sorry. Maybe Paul will do something for you later. But for now, it's just gay-ass TJ and his shit. I don't want that. I don't want it. I'm gonna set it over here in such a way as to convey my lack of interest in it. So what's the topic today? What? There's no... When has there ever been a topic? That's not the format here. Ignore if you hate kittens. What are you doing? The topic is fat dudes streaming. Yes. See, that person understands. Hey, Sal. I still don't want it. I literally don't want that. Can you just... I'm going to touch it, but it's not because I want it. It's to move it out of my range. I'm going to set it there. I'm going to tell you once again, no, I don't want it. Play with him, Tej. I'm good. He's fine. Do I like nature? No. Fondle the balls. Do I like you? I don't know who you are. On a scale from 1 to fuck all, how much are you annoyed by all the SJWs witch hunting you for the Lara Croft comments? 0. I'm the opposite of annoyed. I'm actually thrilled by that. Yeah, it's amusing and it's amazing. And I'm glad I could help them sell their shitty movie to feminists. I'm glad that they could use my tweet as a marketing ploy to sell a shitty movie to people who probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. And I hope when they see it, they realize it's a piece of shit and suffer. I need to get myself more media coverage. Yeah, I do. I need to stop attacking anything of substance and just start making I don't even know what the strategy is. If you have any future suggestions for totally irrelevant bullshit that doesn't matter at all that I can attack, that will somehow lead to 32 articles and counting being written, let me know. Pull your hair up and become a Super Saiyan. Alright, let's...
Sal, please.
Super Saiyan mode! I don't know. I think it was a bad idea. It was ill-conceived. I think we need special effects and hair gel and shit to make it work. TJ, just call the cat the cat. That's pretty much what it is now.
Salvador, please leave the cat alone.
Your cat's broken. Seems alright. The next Nightmare on Elm Street has an interracial couple for no reason other than political pandering. I don't even see how that's political pandering. I mean, it's not... We're not living in an age where an interracial couple is shocking to anyone. So, I mean, I don't know. Are you sure it's not just... like, a thing that's in the movie and you're just maybe too sensitive?
Why does there have to be a reason for
Yeah.
an interracial couple to exist? They just exist like any other couple.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, I don't know. Is there, like, an undue attention being drawn to it? Like, does it seem like they're doing some kind of progressive brownie points bullshit with it or something? Like, other kids at the school are like, how dare you fucking mix races? And then Freddy is pissed too, or whatever. I don't know.
Racist.
Freddy's like, even I know race mixing is immoral.
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah. Freddy's new mission is to kill interracial couples because he's a racist. He used to be a child molester, but then we thought, no, racist. That works even better. What do you think of my new look? Oh my god, it's amazing. I just can't even believe how much better that look works for you than your previous horrible look that you had. I mean, that last look, I'll be honest with you, one of the worst looks I've ever seen. But this new look, wow. Wow. Tremendous.
Stop, Sal.
Yeah, we need a movie where Freddy Krueger finds Jesus. I agree. That seems pretty reasonable. I saw a kitten in the thumbnail, so here I am. You see? It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
It works.
Show me your kitties. TJ, if I were to start listening to Marilyn Manson, what album would you recommend for pure heavy metal type shit? None of them. Because Manson doesn't make that kind of music. If you want an industrial metal album, then Antichrist Superstar. If you want a glam rock album, then listen to Mechanical Animals.
Yay.
If you want more of like a, I guess, kind of heavy but sort of classic rock vibe, you could do Holywood. And then after that, it becomes a little harder to categorize. But whatever. But Manson's not a heavy metal guy. I mean, you know, kind of pals around in that circle, but Mechanical Animals for the win, yeah. That's definitely not the one if someone's looking for like some traditional heavy metal sounds. You might actually be better served by just listening to Lest We Forget, the compilation album. No, but it's his best in my opinion. Mechanical Animals is definitely pretty good, but not my favorite. You have to wake up at 9. Well, should probably go to bed, I guess. I don't know. Nine Inch Nails is better than Manson. Now, if you would have said that in 1996, we might have an argument. But as of at least the last 10 years, it's not even debatable that Manson is better. I mean, Trent Reznor is out of gas, and it's sad. It's really not good. Pretty much like, what was that one? The one after With Teeth. Now, With Teeth was no masterpiece, but at least it still had some respectability. But that one he did after, and everything since then has been total dog shit. Can't even remember the name of the fucking album. Anyway, Nine Inch Nails has been total dog shit for a decade or more, so no. Tool has really good metal sound. I see Tool's another one. I mean, like, maybe I define metal too narrowly or something, but I would not consider Tool to be metal. But yeah, they're good. I like Tool. I didn't really care much for their last album. Stop. Salvador, quit being a stupid faggot. Leave the cat alone. He obviously does not want to play with you. Slayer is definitely metal. Never really liked them very much, though. I'm not a big fan of the metal genre, honestly. Or at least as I define it. Not to say I'd never get into any metal, but I don't know, Slayer, if I'm listening to a Slayer album, it's hard for me to even tell when one song ends and another begins, because it's all just the same. Slipknot, you know, I think Slipknot had some kind of cool early shit. It was never anything I thought was amazing or super deep or anything, but probably my favorite. Their early album was a little bit rough for me, like their big breakout album, which I think was self-titled, but maybe it wasn't. That was a little rough, but I think Iowa and Subliminal Verses. I think Subliminal Verses was probably my favorite because it was like kind of the perfect mix of being like raw but also produced. Because I do tend to like a more produced sound. I mean, I mean something that's kind of like raw and has a little bit of garage grunge on it still. That can be fun, but I tend to like the more big production kind of stuff. It's like if you ask me my favorite Pink Floyd album, I'm going to give the cliche answer of Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall, depending on my mood. When is TJ Coin coming? Stay tuned. I can't wait. It's going to make Bitcoin look like a fucking shit coin, dude. It's going to be great. TJ Coin. The symbol's going to be a banana. It's going to fucking trade super high. Super high. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Are there any video game or movie soundtracks that you like? I mean, yeah, sure. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time sitting here thinking about it, but I remember the Crow had a really badass soundtrack. Lost Highway, which is a movie I don't even like, had a really badass soundtrack. The fucking first Guardians of the Galaxy had a pretty badass soundtrack. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking movies with good soundtracks. I mean, that's not hard to find. Video games too.
I like the Atomic Blonde soundtrack.
Atomic Blonde had a good soundtrack. Thor Ragnarok has a good soundtrack. I don't particularly remember it being an amazing soundtrack, but maybe you're right. Halo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about the Halo soundtrack, honestly. The reason I didn't comment too much on the video game stuff is because I haven't really been into the gaming scene for many, many, many years. Not since I was like a teenager, and I'm now 33 years old, so I've missed a lot. It just hasn't been where I've devoted much of my time. But I'm sure there's been some amazing soundtracks. You were mentioned on the radio here in Los Angeles. Cool. Some asshole on Twitter, apparently amazing assholist or something, said that Lara Croft's boobs are too small, blah, 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 blah. And he's absolutely wrong. He's absolutely wrong. What a sexist pig. What a piece of shit. Lara Croft's tits are too small. It's true, though. I love that Amazing Atheist guy has been brought back. Yeah. You know, I think that journalist was right. I shouldn't call her a journalist. I think that CNN talking head was right. Amazing Atheist guy is where it's always been. I may change my channel back, but just add guy. The only thing, I mean, like, I probably would have already changed back to the Amazing Atheist if not for the fact that I had that fucking sign made.
You can still use your sign if that's what you want.
Yeah, I could still use that sign, but would it be confusing? Would it be confusing, Chelsea? Who knows?
If it's confusing, then they're retarded anyway.
That's true. It would only confuse people who are literally fucking stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. Didn't Dusty take the name? Dusty can't take shit. Like, Dusty is so irrelevant that it really wouldn't even matter if he wasn't actually irrelevant. Like, if Dusty was getting 11 million fucking views a video, I would still think of him as nothing at this point. So, yeah. Is it 3 a.m.? It's not 3 a.m., is it?
That's 1:47.
Is it? I thought it was like 11 something.
3 a.m. on the East Coast, I guess.
Holy shit. I had no idea. Dusty has not gotten rusty. Dusty is rust. Lol, damn TJ. What'd I do? I didn't know the time. Who cares?
I think just how mean you were to Rusty.
Who cares? It doesn't have feelings. Is Dusty dead? Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's kind of the point.
So cute. She is so cute.
Steven Crowder got 33 million views this month. Does that make you sad? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, no. Because I thought it was in the ashtray. I never took it out there.
Oh, I think the kitten might have.
Knocked it out.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, like, there's shit way worse than Steven Crowder that gets even more views. Like, at least Steven Crowder, as dumb as he is putting forth some sort of ideological position and discussing issues of substance. Now, do I agree with his positions on those issues of substance? No. Almost never. But at least he's talking about something and has a subject matter, so I can fucking at least respect that. But there's totally mindless fucking pap that is worthless and just fundamentally awful that gets ridiculous amounts of views. So I don't really feel too bad about that. Am I jealous of it? Yes. But do I feel bad about it? Like, do I view that as, like, indicative of some sort of, like, deeper problem or something? No.
Sometimes we see shit on YouTube that has like 11 billion views or something, and we're just like, wow, this is our fucking world now. This is sad.
Like, once again, like, even Fox News, though, like, once again, at least they're putting forth some sort of ideology. Like, Fox News sucks, but every other channel is just reality TV fucking garbage and shit. I mean, there's, like, shows about, like, midgets of Atlanta or whatever the fucking bullshit, Hey, it's the fucking sassy black midget show. Let's see what these sassy black midgets are up to. And it's like, this is horrible. America should be destroyed. This is not good, folks. This is bad stuff. We got problems. If this is like where we're fucking going to as a fucking culture, then, I don't know. Maybe it's time to fucking throw in the towel. Yeah, Pit Boss and Cake Boss and fucking whatever the fuck else. Dancing with the fucking Stars. Ugh. It's just garbage, dude.
What the fuck?
Die, TJ, die. Don't worry. You won't have to wait long.
Strain's harsh.
My 600-pound life. You know what I noticed with those? Here, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know what I noticed with those fucking... with that strain of tobacco is like... if you roll a joint with it and then let the joint sit for a while, like, it gets real harsh.
Harsh?
Yeah, it gets harsher. I've never seen that. I don't know what the fuck's up with it. What's up with Stephanie Manure getting so many views and shit again these days? I remember back in 2013 she was making trash tier arguments about how women were the scourge of humanity. Has his shtick changed? I don't know. I don't watch him. But I don't know if you've noticed, but I mean, like, there's a big conservative resurgence going on right now, so it's not really surprising. I'm actually going to make a video, I think, about the idea that a few of these conservatives have put forth that conservatism is the new counterculture. Because it's a statement that when I first heard it, I just wanted to reject it offhand, and I still reject it, But I realize that there actually is a reason that it's being made, and there's a reason that there's an internal logic there that actually needs to be explored in some sort of way. But, yeah. I think that the real problem is that the political dichotomy in this country is conservative populism versus pseudo-liberal, which, what we call liberal in America is actually like center-right politics, which is basically establishment bullshit. So it's basically a right-wing populism versus center-right bullshit masquerading as liberalism. And when that's the political paradigm, of course, the one that fucking represents populism is going to seem more dangerous and edgy, but it's because there is no fucking actual representation of any sort of left-wing ideology in America beyond, Bernie Sanders. And the problem with that is that it's tied in with all this SJW shit, which most people are rightly horrified by. I think we need a passionate left wing in this country that isn't afraid to make like, where's the fucking Christopher Hitchens kind of socialism? People forget that Hitchens was a fucking radical leftist. I even see conservative YouTube channels like Conservative Pawnage Channel, and they'll have Hitchens on there. I'm like, Hitchens fucking self-identified as a socialist, okay? Like, his view, maybe he had some, like, neocon leanings, because neocon shit was kind of born out of leftism. A lot of people don't realize that neoconservatism kind of sprung out of, like, leftist movements in the 60s. But, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's long, complicated, stupid shit. He was for the war on terror, that's why. Yeah. It's basically he agreed with Bush's war because of his neocon positions, so they started assuming he was a conservative. And I guess he was making too much money off them to strongly correct them, which makes sense. He basically just found himself in the Sargon spot, Sargon got this big left-wing audience, this big right-wing audience for going after SJWs and shit. And he flirted with it for as long as he could to maintain them and their money. And then they just, people like Andy Worski came and just pushed it way further right than Sargon was willing to go. So now he has to back off it. And now all of Sargon's former fans are like, Sargon is a cuck now. That's what I've been able to glean from very casual observation, by the way. I could be totally talking out my ass on what the fuck is going on there. It's not like I'm actually devoting brain power to that shit, but... I don't think it's about Andy Worski or any of those people. I just think it's a social phenomenon that's happening, and different people are exploiting it or using it in different ways. Why do I dislike Andy Worski? I don't. I actually think what he's doing is interesting. But do I politically agree with, I guess he tries to maintain sort of an air of neutrality, so I don't want to put anything on him that's not something he would identify as or whatever. Oh, sorry. Every time someone tries to make a classic-style leftist movement, it seems to die in the ass before it takes off. Any idea what gives? The problem with any sort of left-wing movement at this time is that it's basically just too much fracturing. It's the I God principle that me and Galen discussed the first time we ever met. People, like one of the things that, you see Jordan Peterson rallying against so much is like postmodernism. And it's because the level of skepticism that's contained within postmodernism, if you take it to its natural conclusion, you almost end up at a point where everyone's identity is so customizable that you're not going to be able to build a fucking coalition. It's like the old thing about how trying to form like an atheist club was like trying to herd cats. It's the same thing here, It's just there's way too many people with way too many different iterations of leftism in their heads. And it's like I'm left wing on most issues, but if I go to a left wing place, I'm gonna have to deal with people who are like, "Hey, that's the guy who said Lara Croft's tits are too small. Boo, fuck him." And then we'll start fighting amongst each other, whatever. And it'd be a million little micro fucking aggressions against each other. Whereas, if you're right wing right now, you've got President Doofus that you can kind of rally behind
Down.
and defend.
Down.
And it's real easy to defend him too, because you have a really shitty mainstream media that never calls Trump on any of his actual bullshit, that is pretty much intent on focusing on just nothing burger fucking stories like the Stormy Daniels thing. Like, we're gonna prove that the president nailed this hot porn star, as if America's reaction isn't gonna be like, awesome. Who cares if he nailed a hot porn star? In my world, that's a good thing. You're like, they're working so hard to generate, like, how many people are actually gonna be outraged that fucking Trump fucked some porn star? Like, shouldn't we be outraged that the fucking countries he's bombing or the fucking handouts he's giving to the top echelons of society? But, we're never gonna, you don't see a news story about Trump making wealth inequality worse or something like that, because it's, they don't care, because they're fucking all Democrat Party shills, and the Democrats are doing the same fucking goddamn thing because they're just the center-right party who also love the rich. If you're legitimately left-wing in this country, then what you're forced to endure is watching just two ridiculous caricature puppets go, and the scale kind of goes, and you're just watching and you're like, this is all bullshit. None of this has anything to do with anything. It's like, should we be center right or should we be far right? The battle for America's soul. And it's like, I think we should be way further to the left, you guys. Well, then, he's a crazy. He's a fringe person. Don't mind him. He's a lunatic. He doesn't understand how America works. We should just get rid of all parties. Who is this we that's going to do that exactly? Like, who's we? Like, you and me, or all of us? Like, the American people in general? We should just start a fucking ground floor populist movement. No more parties. From now on, you stand on the merit of your own ideas alone as an individual. You act like that's going to make any difference. Even if you don't say Democrat or Republican, people are still going to signal like, I'm a fucking conservative ass kicker. I'm a liberal fucking whatever. I'm going to give you free shit. Free college for everybody. You're still going to know who's who. Maybe it would force people to actually pay more attention. I doubt it. But I don't know. I don't think it could be accomplished. I'm a liberal getting cucked and crying in the bathroom. There you go. People are largely similar, who are largely similar should be put aside, be able to put aside petty differences, but in this age, petty differences seem more focused on than real issues. Well, yeah. I mean, don't you think that's... I mean, that's why there's 30 fucking something articles about me talking about Lara Croft's tits right now on the internet. That's why I'm being mentioned by fucking LA radio stations. Not because of anything of substance, but because of a tweet about the actress who's playing Lara Croft doesn't have big enough tits for me to see her as Lara Croft. That's a fucking story. So yeah, you're right. Like, petty differences, that's like the bread and butter of the fucking media right now. And the crazy thing is it's not like anyone really cared. I mean, there was a few people who clapped back at me and got like a decently big reaction. But it wasn't like... There was no fucking huge, like, viral surge of interest in that fucking tweet. Like, it was a moderately, oh, this is kind of a discussed tweet. But the media, like, think about this. If the media really believed its own bullshit, right? It believed that my tweet was just this horrible, abhorrent sexism. Why would you write a story about me? Like, wouldn't you, as a journalist at that point, be like, it would be irresponsible for me to elevate this random guy's opinions about tits to a newsworthy level? Wouldn't you think that if you were an ethical journalist with that position? But these are not ethical journalists with that position. These are people who are probably, first of all, being paid to sell this fucking movie. And just saw an angle to fucking exploit. Oh, yeah. This sexist guy doesn't like it. He's sexist, so all you feminist retards, go see it. And then it becomes the Ghostbusters remake promotional strategy, which failed. So I don't know why they're trying it again. Like, maybe this time. But, I mean, better than that, it's easy. It's easy to understand. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. Everyone understands it instantly. Like, this guy says Lara Croft's tits are too small. Boo! Boo! He's sexist. Boo! 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 Let's be simplistic fucktards, because we can't actually explain anything to people. And if we tried, they probably wouldn't pay attention because the people of this country are fucking stupid. And that's the situation you're dealing with. What day, Callie, what? Get out of here. I think everywhere is stupid, not just America. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the human race in general is probably pretty fucking stupid.
I think this is international news.
But, you know, I mean, it was, yeah, you're right. I mean, it was like Co-UK and shit that wrote about it.
Australia.
There was Australia. I mean, like, this story wasn't just an American story. I mean, I literally made international news for a tweet about tits. I love it. But, you know, on a personal level, I enjoy it. But on the level of, like, what does this say about us as a people? Pretty fucking depressing there. TJ, you will stop slipping into irrelevance as soon as you address the ideas of the alt-right, whether you agree or not. I mean, I'm writing a book about Jordan Peterson's book and my own philosophies on life. And I think that in the process, you know, a lot of alt-right shit will be challenged, and it'll be pretty clear where I fucking stand politically as well as just socially and in terms of how I view the world in general. But, you know, I don't care. I mean, like, there's an underlying assumption in your question that I care about your perception of me as being relevant to something or irrelevant. Like, I just had all of the media outlets of the world call me a chauvinist pig, and I didn't even care. Like, I went out today and had breakfast with my girlfriend and walked out by the lake and didn't even think about it. Didn't think about it till I came home and said, oh, more media outlets are writing about me. Like, that's how little I give a shit. So, I mean, like, if you want to call me irrelevant, or you want to call me this or that or whatever, it's not that I don't fucking care at all about your opinion, but at the end of the day, I recognize that no matter what standard I conduct myself by, you're going to ultimately slap some label on me. And I can either care about that and wring my hands in concern and try, oh my God, how do I get this label off of me? No, not this label. No. Or I can say, you know what, I'm always going to have a label. I'm always going to have more than one label. There's going to be good labels and bad labels. And it's going to be regardless of how I conduct myself or what I do. So who cares? I mean, the edgy thing is another example. Now, like, you know, when people started calling me edgy all the time, like, at first I got kind of pissed. I'm like, quit dismissing my thoughts with this fucking ridiculous word. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Embrace it. It's not going away. They want edgy, be fucking edgy. And now I've reached the third plateau where it's like, okay, well, you know, whatever, I'm just going to be me. People can say whatever they want about it. I'm going to conduct myself exactly how I want to, and people are going to think what they will, and I don't give a shit. You know, and I don't want it to be... There's this fucking retarded shit where people try to avoid any sort of criticism by just constantly claiming, like, I don't give a fuck what other people think, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't gotta listen to nobody. I ain't held up to no one's standards, and blah, 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 blah. And I don't want what I'm saying now to be construed as that. Because that's just a cliche. It's just fucking silly. And it's usually said by people for whom the reality is the exact opposite. They're constantly concerned with what other people think. So I'm not gonna pretend that I have just zero concern for anything or anybody. But like at this point, there's a little bit of a fucking barrier for my genuine concern. And that barrier is explanation. If you want to get over the wall and into where I am and where I care, then explain yourself. Don't just say, you're edgy. Give me a therefore. Like, give me a, like, this is why you're edgy. This is what the word edgy means to me. This is why being edgy is a bad thing. Yeah, explain it. And you know what? I'll care then. I won't probably agree with you, I'll probably argue with you, or say you're full of shit, or storm off in a huff, or do whatever I do. But without that crucial element of explanation, it's just meaningless. It's just, hey, your buzzword. Buzz, 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 buzz. I can't care about that. I'm too desensitized to it. Do you think Andy Worski might be clinically retarded? I mean, obviously not. Do I still talk to Ben? Not really. Occasionally, when it's of some sort of business concern. But beyond that, no. I mean, I don't socially speak to him. Hey, JT. What's up? I can say edgy, then I don't have to actually bother thinking about what you said or try to think. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's just a buzzword for dismissal, of which there are countless of those on the internet now. But, whatever. Didn't you talk to Ben before, though? Why stop talking to him because you're not on DP anymore? First of all, why do you assume that I'm the one, that I'm just, like, Ben desperately wants to communicate with me and I'm just like, I am ignoring you now? The fact of the matter is that we talked before because there was business. We were in a business relationship together. We're no longer in that. There was some degree of acrimony during the split of that. So it's not like either of us are super eager to be talking to each other. Does that mean that I don't wish him the best? Of course I wish him the best. I worked with Ben for many years. I think he deserves to be a success, and I hope he always is. But in terms of our friendship, at this point, we don't fucking communicate like that anymore. And that's not, that's not acrimony at this point. That's not hatred at this point. That's not any form of antagonism at this point. That's just, he'd rather not talk to me socially. I'd rather not talk to him socially. We talk business when it's necessary. And I wish him well. I hope he wishes me well. Let's go smoke a cigarette in the darkness. Sorry guys, out here it's just black. You don't get to see anything, you just get to hear. It's quiet. A little too quiet. Ben isn't even funny. Never made me laugh. DP should just be TJ and Paul, to be honest. That's... Look, Ben's got Billy, who's a funny guy, and he's got a pretty good cast of rotating people. So I think it's just fine. I think the formula's fine where it is. I think that, after people get over the initial hump of, it's not the same as it was. Because, we had to go through that shit, too, when we did DFF. We did the Tim Allen episode, and people didn't get it. And we did a few more episodes, and people still didn't get it. And, we didn't fucking, oh, my God, they don't get it, they don't get it, they don't get it. We're just like, they'll get it. And we kept doing it, and eventually they fucking got it. And the people who didn't get it walked away. And the Drunken Peasants is just going to have to go through the same painful period of transition where the people who don't get it are going to fucking, they're going to stick around for a little while. But it seems to me like it's down to the people now who are the core fan base of the new incarnation of the show. And from there it can grow in an honest way. If Ben didn't take down the last DP Twitch stream, would you still be on DP? Who can honestly know the answer to a question like that? I still enjoy DP and DFF, and that's exactly what we like. I'm glad that you can enjoy what my previous show has become. I'm glad that you can enjoy what my current show is doing. Because I helped build both of those shows, and I'm glad you fucking like both of them. DFF is what I always wanted DP to be. Well, that's the same for me. Maybe not always, but as DP continued, more and more I wanted it to be a show like what DFF is. And, I kept pushing it in that direction as much as I possibly could, but I couldn't quite get it there. So at some point I just had to say, you know what? This we just need to do it on our own. We can't be tied to this formula anymore. I don't want to do DP anymore. It's time to start something new with a fresh perspective that we can explore a little bit different territory in, and not do the same thing we've been doing for the last 4 years. What do you think about the chaos of the modern era? Good or bad? I think a lot of the way that we think about order and chaos is a false dichotomy. I think the two are interwoven. I think that a lot of the way we think about good and bad is a false dichotomy. I think the two things are interwoven. And both are somewhat subjective. Order and chaos less so than good and evil. But, it's a very complicated relationship between concepts that are not well defined. See, that fat old guy says order/chaos, yin/yang. That is something that Jordan Peterson has created, okay? If you actually look at the history of the yin-yang symbol, both yin and yang were said to have emerged from chaos. They are both forms of order, and they arose out of chaos. Jordan Peterson's interpretation of that symbol is just flat out wrong and flat out stupid, like a remarkable amount of things that come out of his overrated fucking mouth. Fuck Jordan Peterson. He's a retard. Are we going to cover Charles Manson? Stay tuned. Here's a better question. Would you really consider the current era to be chaos compared to the rest of history? That is a better question, and no. We live in very stable times compared to what has been the case for the majority of history. Everyone is, I mean, not everyone, obviously, but most people in the industrialized world are reasonably well fed. Some of us a little bit too well fed. Um, we rely on mass communication technologies. Fucking, we have an electrical grid and indoor plumbing, and all of these amenities that our ancestors would have deemed something that you could only get in fucking heaven. So, I don't think it's chaos exactly that we toil under these days. Yes, I like. I can never pronounce his name. Slajov or Slavoj, whatever. Zizek. Yeah, I like him. I love Pervert's Guide to Ideology. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. I don't know if you've seen Zizek lately, but I think that sniffles thing was some kind of. There's like some sort of debility. He has some sort of disease or something because now the entire fucking left side of his face is fucked up like he had a stroke. Maybe he just did have a stroke. I don't know. But he's fucked up. He's a Marxist idiot, though. Um, I mean, he's definitely a Marxist. I don't think he's an idiot. I think that, I don't know. I think he actually has a pretty fucking interesting and unique perspective on things. He makes totally original arguments that I've never heard made before. So, whether I agree with them all, I think you got to give him credit. I don't agree with Marxism, but to say that Marx was an idiot or that Marxists are idiots as a general statement, I think is just wrong-headed. I think Marxism is counter to human nature in a way that can't be overcome. I mean, Hitler was brilliant as well, though. To say that someone's smart and to say that they're good or that they're right, those are not the same thing. Can I debunk a Peterson claim for you? I'm writing an entire book about it. Not strictly about Peterson, but he factors in pretty heavily. So I think you'll see that. I mean, you can already watch some initial criticisms in the introduction video that I posted to my channel. But there will be more. Tomorrow, TJ Kirk calls Hitler a genius. Genius. I mean, Hitler was obviously a genius. You don't achieve the things he did while being an idiot. You don't achieve that level of control while being an idiot, unless you just inherited it because your daddy was king or something, you know. He went from failed painter and veteran to undisputed ruler of an empire. So that's pretty hard. Hitler was smart, but not a genius, TJ. If Hitler's not a genius, then the word genius has no meaning. What if Hitler had a master, a mentor we know nothing about, and we went after the puppet? I mean, Hitler did have a master in a sense. He was he was a slave to the forces of history. That's corny, TJ. Yeah, well, it may be corny, but I think it's true. When will you release your new book? It's being released chapter by chapter as an audiobook on my channel, and when it's complete, there will be a print version as well. Hitler co-opted Nietzsche's ideas. Hitler didn't even understand Nietzsche's ideas. Is he really a genius if he can't understand basic philosophy? Yes. That's like asking. I mean, like Isaac Asimov was a brilliant fucking writer. He wrote an essay about going to his auto mechanic and just, you know, how compared to his auto mechanic was obviously much more of an expert at being an auto mechanic is the whole point of the fucking story. You know, Hitler's genius wasn't in understanding philosophy or being a great philosopher. His genius was at Machiavellian scheming, climbing a fucking social ladder to the fucking top rung, and declaring himself a fucking living god. Not many people could accomplish that. Not many people have even remotely the mindset for that. Most of the people who try are pathetic jokes in comparison. That was Hitler's genius. Just because he doesn't shine in one area doesn't mean he doesn't shine in another. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. I don't think most people understand Nietzsche. You know, there tends to be this idea that Nietzsche's philosophy was very fucking stark and nihilistic and sort of it almost is associated with a Nazi-esque mentality because the Nazis used it as propaganda. But it's nothing like what his actual work reflects. Hitler was a genius at manipulating the masses, but otherwise he wasn't that bright. He was a genius at manipulating everyone, not just the masses, but his inner circle, his friends, his enemies. He played the world like a fucking chessboard. The Nazis liked Nietzsche because Nietzsche's fucking bitch of a sister added some fucking basically anti-Semite propaganda to some of Nietzsche's works. And her husband was big into the Nazi party, so they basically changed some of Nietzsche's works around and, you know, carefully presented his philosophy in such a way as to make it seem like it championed the Nazi ideal when in fact it was just, I mean, like, the rise of Nazism and the rise of Hitler as this fucking almost godlike figure is just another example of the sort of, master morality that Nietzsche fucking found ridiculous. No man should be seen as an absolute authority on morality. Thanks for challenging Jordan Peterson, TJ. I hope this chat can help with your I hope this can help with your book. I'm sure it will. And I agree with you. I don't even agree with. I mean, I don't really find the concept of morality in general to be very useful to humanity at this point. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have some sort of ethical standard, but morality has always just been used to control people. It's not based on reflection, it's based on adherence. What did you think of Kyle's video on moral relativism, if you've seen it? I have seen it. You talk about the Chomsky one, right? Assuming you're talking about the Chomsky one, I didn't agree with Chomsky in that video. I didn't agree with the people that were attacking Chomsky in that video, and I didn't agree with Kyle in that video. I didn't agree with anyone in that video. I'll make my own position clear within my book. I'm going to have to. So, TJ, if Trump ran against any Democrat, who do you think is going to win? At this point, I think that, I really don't know. Ask me after the midterms. I'll have a bit more actually empirical data. TJ refutes Peterson by shilling his own book. Pathetic. Well, my book is being released for free online as an audiobook, so, it's not like I'm sidestepping it and trying to put a paywall between you and what I think. What do you think about groups in terms of morality? Is the morality of a group true, or is the morality of individuals paramount? That's a very difficult question. And once again, I'm not sure that I have much use for morality as a term. I don't really think there is individual morality. I think all individual morality would better be described as ethics, because then you're actually being faced constantly with dilemmas. Morality is just sort of a prepackaged system of guidelines for how to conduct yourself that you can defer to. Ethics is actually having to think through situations. So I think all morality is really group morality. But taking aside that semantic bullshit, I think that, I mean, the problem with group morality is that it's a mechanism of control. The Nazis had a morality. Every other reprehensible group throughout history has had a morality. You know, the slave owners of the antebellum South and shit had a morality. Everyone has, you know, morality is just, it's basically just, hey, here's the status quo that we're going to put in place, and anyone who challenges it is wrong and immoral. So a lot of times throughout history, it's been the people who are, you know, oh, they're morally reprehensible. Well, they're the ones who end up changing things, and then they, of course, then enshrine their bullshit as morality, and then someone else comes along and challenges it further and moves the bar into, you know, to another place. So usually, I mean, honestly, if you could think of it almost as an eternal struggle against group morality versus individual ethics. So I don't think either could be said to be paramount. I think that they're locked in a struggle. I try to avoid dichotomizing things too much because I think that's usually wrong. So there's definitely a lot of gray area there, but if you want a broad strokes answer, I think that does it. It's so weird that so many people think they have strict morals coded into us. Try to convince religious people that this is not the case is essentially impossible from what I found. Yeah, religious people are big on their objective morality, but all of their objective moralities are different, so that's kind of a problem. The objective morality of the Bible today versus what it was when it was written are very different things as well. So obviously it's not objective. Convincing them of that might be difficult, but, you know, I don't know what value there is in convincing them, or if they can even be convinced. How is Howard Bloom doing? I don't know. Haven't spoken to him recently. After reading some of the comments on your video, I would have to agree with considering hardcore Peterson fans almost like a cult. It seems like to them you've got to have a PhD to criticize. I mean, well, if I had a PhD, they'd just come up with some other reason. That's just the easy first line of defense. Oh, well, Peterson is much smarter and more educated than you, so therefore he's right. But that's fallacious reasoning. It's totally specious. Ideas do not, you know, grow in worth because the person espousing them is a fucking well-educated man. If that were true, then, you know, William Lane Craig would be right against, you know, any sort of, you know, new atheist who didn't have the right level of education against him. TJ, you said in your video you'd have trouble debunking Peterson because of the education gap between you, but I don't think it's really that complicated. His bullshit is just recycled conservatism. I think you're actually misrepresenting what I said in the video. I didn't say that I'd have trouble debunking him because there would be because of some education gap that exists between us. I said I'd have trouble debunking him through the means of outright deconstruction, simply because he throws so much shit at the fucking wall that, I'd have to sit there and deconstruct so much. It would be incredible. It'd be a massive undertaking, and it would just lead to 1,000 arguments within arguments within arguments within arguments, to the point where any sort of coherent message would be lost. I think that there are some broad Peterson points that can be deconstructed, but you have to be very careful about the ones you choose, because otherwise you're just going to end up with, countless arguments and arguments within arguments and arguments within those arguments, and it's just going to get to the point where no one can even follow what the fuck is going on. It just becomes static. So it has to be chosen carefully. Peterson is not dumb. He is deceptively subtle and says a lot with very little words. It would take a lot of effort to pick him apart thoroughly, and ultimately worthless, probably. I think a lot of times it's actually the opposite with Peterson. I don't think he's saying a lot with few words. I think he's saying little with many words. That's why you have to boil his philosophy down to its essence and then deconstruct that. You can't just dive in and start tearing apart everything you see, because then it's just going to be fucking utter chaos, which I guess is something that might be fun, but it's probably not going to convey to people the message that I want to convey. So I want to see you debate him. Sargon would set it up. I wouldn't be opposed to debating him, but I think my book should come out first. Relax, TJ. I'll take it from here. Okay, thanks, man. Do people need to have purpose to feel fulfilled? What purpose do you think people would feel satisfied with? Will people ever be satisfied? I don't know, like a lot of those terms, fulfillment, what is that, and why is it the most desirable end to life? Why should satisfaction be something that people desire in the first place? Now, obviously, it is what people desire, but maybe the search for satisfaction is more meaningful than satisfaction itself. I don't know. People are trying to find meaning in a meaningless universe. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as they understand that the meaning that they find is ultimately subjective. I think people are scared of subjectivity when they should be excited by its possibilities, which is actually what a lot of Nietzsche's book On Good and Evil is about. I don't think he is as deep as people say, but I don't know but I don't see how what he is saying is controversial. It shouldn't be controversial. I don't think it is for most people. I think that it's been presented as controversial as a way to combat him, but I don't think there's anything genuinely controversial about his message. If anything, it's decidedly not controversial. What the fuck is that? It's over there, Sal. Over that way. It's over here. Salvador, it's this way. Did you get it? Sorry, there was something digging around in my yard, and Chelsea let Sal out here to go chase it. I think he nearly caught it, but I don't think he actually managed to get it. I think you lost him, Sal. Probably a raccoon, maybe a rat. Could have been a possum. Maybe a skunk or armadillo, I don't know. Why would your dog want to piss off a skunk? I mean, he's a dog. He has a fucking predator drive. He wants to hunt. I was going to give this $5 to a needy vagrant, but now it's TJ because he is beyond good and evil. Yep. You lost him, Sal. Give it up. Louisiana has armadillos. Yes, it does. What should I get tattooed on my body, TJ? If you need to ask someone else what you should tattoo on your body, then you have bigger problems and you need to focus on something else. I don't think you should get a tattoo. I want to act like an intellectual by saying basically nothing relevant, but using big words so people think I'm relevant. Okay. It's been done before. Have you considered sacrificing Scotty to a volcano? It could be beneficial to your mental health. I don't feel like climbing all the way up a volcano, and I don't know how much is it to rent a helicopter. We'll see. Did the crazy house lady story get an update? Didn't she break a contract or agreement, thus out of bounds legally? I've had so much else going on that I haven't had a chance to pursue that any further, so I'll probably just end up letting it go because life is too crazy. What are your views on freedom? Should freedom have a purpose, or should it simply be simply self-sustaining freedom? um, I don't know. I think the point of freedom is to be able to explore all of those possibilities. If you don't have the freedom to explore different ideas and different avenues of thought, then society just becomes stagnant. Give your stance on the pronoun thing, it being a law to say people pronouns. That's how Peterson got big by being anti-speech laws. I've heard some people tell me that Peterson misrepresents that law. I haven't actually looked into that. So, without actually having looked into the content of the law, I can't really give a full opinion, but I don't think that any law protecting pronouns or any law saying that people have to address each other in a particular way is a good idea. Ugh. Wonder if I can turn the light on. Damn, I can't turn the camera on while can't turn the light on while the camera's on. That's weird. Alright, come on, Sal. Let's go inside. Shit, forgot the stand. Baby, there was something outside that Sal was going after. I don't know what it was, but I heard it out there before he even came out.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it scratching over on that side of the house and shuffling.
Yeah, he was acting all crazy, so.
He heard it or smelled it or something. He went the wrong way when he came out, though.
Well, he was sniffing around the door.
Well, it was happening over there.
Yeah.
I think if he'd have ran that way, he might have caught it, but
I think here, I don't leave.
yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a rat. It might have been a raccoon. Might have been a stray cat. I don't know. Could even have been like a possum or an armadillo or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a skunk. I don't know.
Well, I hope it wasn't skunk. See, skunking is hard.
It sounded big.
Really? creeped out?
No. I figured it was probably just a possum or a raccoon. It's not exactly uncommon to see those.
I've seen both of those just driving.
Yeah. Could have been a rabbit too.
Rabbits are really fast. They don't really scratch at anything.
I don't know. Chupacabra. We don't have any goats around here.
Someone said it was a goat.
Louisiana has mountain lions, which get 250 pounds full grown. Yeah, I think we call them like cougars or something around here, though. But they're pretty goddamn rare. My mom claimed she saw one once. There's like wild boar around here too, but you don't really see them coming this far into town. They pretty much stick to the woods. Yeah, maybe it was just Paul out there scratching at the outside of the house, trying to get in. Hey man, like the universe and stuff, man. Paul found some chips while digging in the grass. I think that's probably the most sound theory yet. What you up to, baby? Doing dishes, huh? Paul was looking for his vape out there. What's your opinion about the flat earth? I mean, what opinion am I supposed to have about the flat earth? I don't have any opinion about the flat earth. The earth is not flat. It's not a matter of opinion. Opinion on flat earthers? They're crazy. Do vaccines cause autism? I don't think so. He's gone, Sal. Does Brett Keane cause autism? Whoa. Hi, cat. Your cat is as cute as you are fat. Okay. What the fuck is going on?
What?
It's like sniffing my eyeball again. Man, this fucking cat, dude. What the fuck? Don't let it get cat hair in your eye. Okay. Why? This cat's like telling me to shut up. He put his paw in my mouth, like, quiet. Talking time is over. Quit trying to censor me. Oh yeah, probably them fucking weird parasites that like get into your brain that cat owners get.
What?
Yeah, like 25% of cat owners have that fucking brain parasite.
Really?
Yeah. Toxoplasmosis. Yeah, look it up, baby.
Okay.
You fucked us by bringing this cat here. I used to have like 7 cats. Well, you definitely got toxoplasmosis, bitch. Your toxoplasmosis fucking central. What do you think of this kind of bullshit? The constant chatter online about anything and everything. Are we just shouting into the void? Why is this a thing today? Is life offline better? Yeah, life offline is probably better. I think it's probably good to avoid, like, take long, deserved breaks from social media. And by long, I don't mean like necessarily days and days, but like just pull yourself away for like, 6 hours at a time or something. If reality was better, we'd be there, not here. Well, that's not necessarily true. People take the path of least resistance more than the path that leads to some sort of like pleasure. Like if people were only driven towards pleasure, then everyone would be at a whorehouse injecting heroin and getting their dick sucked, you know? Baby, I've officially reached the point where I like the cat enough that if it died, I'd be sad.
You just realized that?
I didn't just realize that, I just reached that.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to kill this cat like I said I was going to. I kept telling him I was going to, like, put it in a hydraulic press or something, but I think I've grown too attached.
Yeah. He, like, wants human attention and affection more than, like, any other cat I've ever seen.
Yeah. Did you really name him Alvarez? I gave it my best shot.
He's dumb. Okay, I think we should all, like,
I've at least caused a name stalemate, so that's
yeah.
good.
I think we should all sit down and talk about our names tomorrow and fucking come up with a name for this fucking cat. Because he's got too much, like, personality now to just call him Cat. He needs an actual name.
Does the sky need a name, Chelsea?
This guy does have a name.
What's the sky's name?
The sky.
That's not a name.
Sky.
Sky is no. That's like saying the cat has a name because it's called Cat.
Well, the sky isn't a living thing. You can't own the sky as a pet.
I think the cat just needs to be nameless forevermore. I think that names are overrated. This cat stands on his own. Let the chat choose the name. That'll be the day.
What?
Call him Ronnie Fuckster. No. That name sucks. What if we just named the cat Nameless, dude?
Nameless?
Yeah. Call him Kyle Kalinske. Call him Paul to piss Paul off. See, that's a pretty solid idea. Yeah. Should I lose my virginity to a hooker? That's totally your decision. There's no should there. There's just do you want to do that? Call him Good Paul. Should name him Percival, but make the purr a P-U-R-R, dude. Percival. Just your weekly reminder that DFF is still a shitty, irrelevant show. Okay. Thanks for the reminder. Call him failed kitty abortion. See, it's too long. Woo! TJ, when in vitro meat becomes a thing, will fast food places start using them and actually serve healthy versions of their existing menu? Why would the in vitro meat be healthier? Maybe you could explain that part to me, because I don't understand why it'd be healthier. All my cats have dumb names like Sugar and Fluff. Okay. How many cats do you have again? Perzuzu. Heh. Gazorpazorp Field. That'd be cool. I hate Manummanun's days. Is that cat a catfish? What if we named the cat Dog, dude?
Are you really asking that?
Yeah. Stop. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I guess that's a no.
Why would we need a dog?
Because it's a cat.
That's dumb.
It's ironic.
No, it's not. It's just dumb.
It is. That's textbook fucking definition of irony, dude.
Okay, well, I don't like it.
Dog.
So he's coming to me anyway.
Dog.
He just comes when called.
When called by his name.
I like Quasar.
He sees stuff.
Or Diablo. Those are my two favorites.
I mean, he just came to the name Dog, dude. It was.
To the name Kitten.
It was even dog-like the way he came. He looked like a dog when he did it. Now he's licking his.
Pineapple and dog.
He's licking his balls like a dog right here. Look at him. This cat is a dog, dude. Hey, no biting. No. Well, Chelsea's putting her foot down. The cat cannot have its name. It's... Hey! Get out of here, you puss shit. Go. Get out of here. Get. No one likes you. Fucking cat. I did. I said you puss of shit. It was unintentional wordplay. Don't bite my shoe, you stupid faggot. Get out of here. Whoa. Get out of here. You're nuts. Oh my god. We don't have to declaw it because we're just trimming its nails, but it bit me. Like, Usually he doesn't bite that hard, but that was pretty hard.
Yeah. He can't beat a claw because he's gonna be a hunting cat.
Yeah, and he needs to hunt. The whole reason we have him is to fucking hunt like mice and shit. Trim its nails till it gets older. We already do. One of the first things we did when we got it was trim its nails. My girlfriend is a fucking groomer. TJ, put him in the middle of the room. Have Chelsea call him by her favorite name on one side, and you call him by your favorite. Then whoever he goes to is the name. There's two other people involved in this, though. So he'd have to fucking be on four sides of the room with him in the middle of the room. And there's no way he's going to stay in the middle of the room long enough to even do that. So... Let him choose the name. Open up MS Word and put him on the keyboard. Okay. You're gonna buy a pet leopard or jaguar? Okay. I'm eating a muffin, so name it Muffin. Alright. Enough cat name suggestions. Let's talk about something else. Why are you so fat? Because I eat an unhealthy diet. What happened the first time you got fucked up on acid? I've told it before. Probably the most notable moment for me, I was laying on the floor between the bathroom and my bedroom, and I kept imagining a giant skeleton hand coming out behind the shower curtain, grabbing me and dragging me to hell. And the cool thing was that I was like welcoming it. I'm like, yeah, drag me to hell, giant skeleton hand. That'd be fucking awesome. I don't know why. Like, yeah, eternal suffering. Woo! Are you sure he's not fat because you were poor as a kid and you had a bad back? Yeah. I have a bad back now, but I was fat long before now, and I did have a pool as a kid, so I have no excuse. CJ! This is now a drug chat. Do I like coffee crumb cake? Yeah, sure. Take acid now. Even if I had some, I wouldn't take it now. I'd sleep and then kind of mull around until just when it got dark outside, and then I'd take it. Probably take about an hour before it got dark outside, so that my trip was just really starting when it gets dark. That'd be cool, because you can't sleep on acid. At least I've never been able to. There's a really horrible thing that happens to me every time I take acid. And it's towards the very end of the trip, both of my feet get like crazy itchy. And I spend the last like hour to 2 hours of my trip just fucking dealing with crazy foot itch. And I have no idea why. I've never met anyone else with that fucking problem. My feet don't itch normally, but on the last 2 minutes of an acid trip, I got some itchy ass feet. 2 hours, rather. Probably cancer, yeah. I think you're probably right about that. Seems like a fair assessment. Acid athlete's foot. Yep. Maybe. Thoughts on Trump getting Kim Jong Un to meet him? Well, I hope it goes well. Can acid affect a person's dreams? Yes. But you're probably not going to sleep on acid. But your dreams, even after the trip, will be pretty crazy. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Do I have flashbacks on acid? Yeah, but they're nothing. They're nothing crazy though. I mean, it's just like every once in a while I'll look at something, it'll look kind of like wavy, like it's not like I'm on acid. Like, whoa, man, trippy. That's about it though. It's not actually distracting or anything. I ate some chocolate before I passed out once and had a crazy dream. Okay. You're a wild man. Is that why you crashed the car? Oh, yeah, definitely. The motherfucker is pretty hardcore eating chocolate, dude. Dang. Dang, nigga. That was some dangerific dangerang. Well, I think I'm going to start winding down for the night, and typically I like to watch Forensic Files on my phone as I'm going to bed, so I'd better start charging it now. So I'm going to go, but thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.